Hi, I'm Ben Silverio.
I'm Erin, Cline.
And I'm Ansel, Burch, your host in post.
And it's time to party.
We are not doctors and we don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly. 33% of every recording session is digressions and shenanigans, so here you go. This is our bonus content episode made up entirely of stuff that wouldn't fit into the other episodes. It's pretty bananas, and I hope you love it.
Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
I'm Erin, Cline.
And it's
time to party.
Pew pew.
Pew pew, finger guns. Pew 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 pew.
Ha Welcome, everyone.
Hello,
Party
everybody.
goers.
Hello, party people. How are you all? Welcome.
Yeah. Party people.
Party people.
I just think of like 90s hip hop songs when I say party people.
Yeah, that's the energy that I live my whole life with, so that sounds on brand.
100%.
100%.
That Navi River adventure looks cool as fuck.
I did not get a chance to ride that when I was at the Avatar World, but the Skyrider one where you ride the fake motorcycle, chef kiss. Do recommend. I know people who waited 3 hours to ride it and said it was worth it, and like basically immediately got back in line. So I waited 75 minutes with a fast pass and still recommend it. Yeah, it was fucking cool. But yes, the Navi River looks cool.
I didn't get to ride any of that stuff because I haven't been to Animal Kingdom in a while. But I'm one of those people who watches ride videos on YouTube occasionally. So I watched the ride through for the Navi River adventure, and it looks real cool.
It does look really cool. That whole park section is super cool. Do we need 5 more Avatar movies? No, we fucking don't. We 1000% do not. But the aesthetic of the world is beautiful, and I feel like they already built the theme park. Why do we need 5 more movies? All that shit's already there. Like,
yeah,
and it's very cool and super well. We walked in, and I was like, I cannot believe that this place exists. It's so cool, and like, I don't need 5 more movies to drive me to that park. It's already cool.
How did they make floating mountains?
It's so
like
dope.
It's just mind blowing.
It's all like chicken coop cage wire mesh and like paper mache, but that's been like protected so that it's waterproof and you can keep it outside. It's like a type of material that does that, but it's like really light. You could like pick the whole floating mountain up and like carry it around. Basically, it's so cool. But when you're there, it looks solid. It looks like real actual rock. It's very cool. It's a feat of engineering.
Imagineering, if you will.
Oh, oh God. All right, quick, before you say any more puns.
Get ready for the most 21st century statement of all time.
While you were also talking about phone books, I was thinking of my own experience with phone books. And other than watching The World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, tear them in half, the other memory from childhood about phone books was some of my stoner friends used to use them as rolling papers.
Yeah, that makes sense. That paper is like low enough quality that it can burn and it wouldn't like super fuck you up. I know some people who rolled from pages of the Bible, which is really thick paper and like not a good thing to roll from, even if you're like an edgy 15-year-old. It's like, don't do that. But like phone book paper makes a lot of sense, actually. But
yeah, other than that, I don't recall ever really using one for its actual purpose.
Oh my God, it's funny that you say that. I did a little research on the strongman feat. That's how a lot of people know phone books now, because they don't actually use them, is from the strongman feat of ripping a phone book in half. And the people who have the Guinness Book of World Records for tearing the most phone books in half in a 3-minute period, I can't remember what their names are, but hers was 21 and his was 56, and they're a married couple, and so that's what they do together. Is they practice ripping up phone books, and they both hold the Guinness Book World Record for it, ripping the most in 3 minutes, which I think is adorable. So I really enjoyed that. I just thought of this too, my other experience with phone books is that I work for a company in Chicago called Plan 9 Burlesque, and I have to clean up all kinds of weird shit all the time. And once we had somebody come in, and he was doing some kind of like comedy routine, and one of the things that he did was rip a phone book in half, and he actually did it, and it went everywhere, and it was a fucking nightmare to clean up. And it, like, part of the like reoccurring character that I play at Plan 9, Sid Licious, the red shirt, is that she just encounters like disaster after disaster, because that's what burlesque is having to clean up disaster after fucking disaster. And so I went up on stage to clean up this phone book, and it was just like silent. Like everyone was watching me, and then everyone started yelling, "Fuck that guy! Fuck him for making you clean that up!" And so I was just like giggling and like trying to pull this phone book in, and Bobby came in and was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I was like trying to help me. It was a nightmare. And I believe Stella told him afterwards, "You are never allowed to do that again." It was such a fucking nightmare to clean up. So yeah, it's not great when you're on the other end of a torn up phone book. He took the phone book and he ripped it, and like all of the pages came loose because he tore the binding, and so then he like whipped it in the air above his head and created this like confetti of pages, and they just went everywhere. It was like a carpet. They like completely covered the stage, so it was,
Oh my god.
yeah, it was a nightmare. I've cleaned up a lot of awful stuff. I cleaned up fucking hard-boiled eggs. I've cleaned up like weird wax on the ground, but is very difficult to clean up. And the worst thing I've ever had to clean up was that phone book, for sure. It was just such a nightmare. And I think because he didn't warn me that he was going to do it either, and so I wasn't prepared to. I would have had like a garbage bag or something to clean it up, and I had nothing. I was just like, I guess this is going in my arms. So that's my final phone book story.
God. I remember watching you clean up the eggs.
Oh
and
my
like
god.
how that was a time.
Yep. That's what happens. We show up and people are like, "Oh, by the way, I have 8 different things I need cleaned up," and I'm like, "What? Why doesn't anyone email me about this?" That's my life.
Don't you miss burlesque right now?
Honestly, yes, I do. I really
Yeah.
do. I really miss it. I miss the audience experience. I miss the performance part of it. That was the last thing I did before I went into quarantine. Was the last Plan 9 show. So it's been weird.
Oh.
Me too. Nope, I'm wrong. The last thing I did was go see Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters.
Oh no. I can see why you say it's Plan 9. Let's just pretend that it was Plan 9. Yeah, yep. I mean, they did have to like basically redo all of the animation in it, so I feel like it had to have at least been okay.
You mean the highest grossing comic book movie of 2020?
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had like really bad pizza, or at least lately, and luckily I've been pretty good.
The worst pizza I ever had was Papa John's in Amsterdam. I can tell you that right away off the top of my head. It was the worst
Ooh.
pizza I've ever had in my fucking life. It was awful. It was right before Papa John's had to like issue their like, they had to do the dominoes. They had to be like,
Oh, no.
"Ooh, yeah, we know that we're really bad and we have to like redo the formula of our pizza." It was right before that, and as soon as they announced it, I was like, "Yeah, it was the worst pizza I've ever had in my fucking life."
So, did you have that pizza before or after you went to a coffee shop?
Oh, the first thing we did when we got to Amsterdam was go to a coffee shop. What do you mean? Like literally, we
Stupid
dropped our
question.
we dropped our bags off and we're like, "Well, time to go find a coffee shop." We were also on day like 18 of our honeymoon, and we were very tired of each
Right.
other. So it was like, let's go sit in a coffee shop and just look at our phones for several hours, which was great. It was one of our favorite things that we did was go to the coffee shops where we didn't have to interact anymore, which like, I love my husband, but 21 days is too long to be on a honeymoon with a person.
I can imagine Papa John's being bad without going to a coffee shop in Amsterdam
Oh my
first.
God.
But afterwards, I feel like that would be even worse and more disappointing.
No, it was just the worst. We were so excited for the pizza, and then it was just like, oh, this is garbage. This is like actual garbage that they've given to us in a box. That was a couple years ago, though, so who knows? I can't speak to the quality of Amsterdam's Papa John's pizza now in 2020.
Apparently, Shaquille O'Neal has completely revamped the whole thing.
I don't
so-
know why they don't just rename it Papa Shacks. I would be way more likely to buy from them again, knowing that
Yes.
Papa John's was no longer affiliated with them. Like, it just seems like
Yep.
common sense. Oh, Thunderstruck.
Alternatively, you can play it with Head Automatica's Beating Heart's Baby. And every time they say baby, it's the same rules as
Oh, no.
Thunderstruck. But, my friends were all really emo. So,
I was going to say, Ben, that sounds emo as hell.
it very much was.
You want to get sad and drink in the parking lot in a circle? That's the game you play.
It's an upbeat song.
Listen, emo. I don't need your excuses. Oh my god.
I watched Pete Dunne's first match I think it might have been his first match on WWE TV in like, I don't know, 9 months? Maybe because like before the pandemic, he just had a kid.
Yes.
So I don't think he was on NXT around that time, but he was in a tag match with Ilya Dragunov versus Imperium, and holy shit. Oh, Dragunov and Pete Dunne together is just so good. I love Pete Dunne. He's a great wrestler.
Man,
It has nothing to do with time travel, but
I love wrestling. That's the thing about wrestling, though. It has the same thing in common with the other things we've been talking about that we both love. It's about storytelling. It's about characters. It's about like driving forward stories that are done well. Like that's ideally what wrestling should be like. So I get it.
oh,
Wrestling's
absolutely.
great. When it's done well, it's fucking the best shit in the world.
Yes.
And when it's terrible, it's still okay most of the time. It's like pizza.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to have like
It's
just
like
absolute
pizza.
dog shit pizza. It's possible,
Yeah.
but it's
It's
not a
very
thing that happens a
possible.
ton.
Yeah, so I guess we are about out of time on the Terminator.
God damn it, why did I let you do this? You can find us on the internet. I'm at NYD Urgency on Instagram.
I'm at bsilverio20 on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm at Shanty Showtime on Instagram and Twaberry on Twitter.
And you can participate in the conversation with us wherever you would like to do that by using the hashtag #2party. That's 2, the number 2, party.
A huge thanks to Marlon Longid of Marlon and the Shakes for our theme song and April Moralba for the podcast art.
Well, party people, until next time, when we bring you another cool time travel-y piece of media, be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes! Air guitar!
Bye.
Bye! Pew, pew. All right.
Yeah, we did it.
Okay,
And